There's a reason you're here, listening to this right now. You think you clicked this video by choice, but what if it wasn't you? What if every wrong turn, every delay, every heartbreak was part of a hidden plan that's only now coming into focus? In the next few minutes, you're going to find out why you were carried here, and why, if you walk away before the end, you might miss the one message that could change the rest of your life. If you're watching this, it means heaven has a message with your name on it. There comes a time in life when you look around and realize that the place you're standing is not the place you expected to be. You had a plan. You had a vision. You mapped out the steps, set the goals, imagined the milestones. Maybe you even said to yourself, by this age, I'll be here. By that year, I'll have this. And yet, here you are, somewhere completely different. Not just geographically, but emotionally, financially, spiritually. For some people, that realization brings disappointment. For others, confusion. But there's another way to see it. You have not arrived here by accident. You were carried here. Every twist, every delay, every heartbreak, every closed door, it was not random chaos. It was movement by design. You were lifted out of where you were and placed here for a purpose. And that purpose is not simply survival. That purpose is a new beginning. Being carried is not the same as wandering. Wandering is without direction, movement for movement's sake. Being carried is intentional. It means a higher hand is involved. It means you have been placed, not misplaced. The trouble is, when we don't recognize this, we start longing for what we left behind. We try to run back to the old season, thinking it was safer simply because it was familiar. But familiarity can be a trap. You can become so attached to the known that you reject the very change you prayed for. It's like someone being rescued from a burning house. You can't see the flames anymore, but you remember the comfort of your favorite chair, the smell of your own kitchen, the view from the front window. Without realizing it, you might try to walk back inside. You might say, I just want to grab one more thing. But what's behind you is no longer safe. And the longer you linger, the greater the danger. The same is true of seasons God has carried you from. Going back might feel comfortable, but it will cost you your future. Sometimes the place God carries you to feels worse before it feels better. You prayed for promotion, and you got laid off. You asked for love, and you found yourself single. You asked for clarity, and suddenly every option seemed uncertain. You thought the answer would be instant improvement, but what you received was disruption. That's because God is not just moving you to a different location. He is moving you into a different identity. And sometimes the fastest way to get there is to pull you out of the line you're standing in, because the destination at the end of it would have destroyed you. The Israelites were carried out of Egypt, not because God wanted to make their lives harder, but because staying would have meant never becoming who they were meant to be. Egypt was slavery, but it was also predictable. Even bondage can feel safe if it's all you've ever known. But God knew that in order for them to walk in freedom, they had to leave that place entirely. The thing is, he didn't drop them into the promised land overnight. There was a journey in between, a wilderness. The wilderness is not glamorous. It strips away the props you've leaned on. The people you used to rely on drift out of reach. The habits you once used to numb your pain no longer work. The shortcuts that once brought quick wins now lead nowhere. You are left with space, space that can feel uncomfortable, even unbearable. Many people mistake this space for abandonment. They say, "God has left me. I must have made a mistake." But the wilderness is not abandonment, it's preparation. The wilderness is where Egypt's mindset is removed from your heart. You can leave the place physically, but still carry its fears, limitations, and habits internally. If you step into a new season carrying the old season's mindset, you will sabotage what you've been given. You cannot build a promised future with the bricks of a broken past. And then, in this wilderness, something begins to shift inside you. You start to question the labels you've carried for years, labels handed to you by others or by your own failures. Too late, not enough, always broke, unlucky, not smart enough. You realize those labels have shaped the way you see yourself, and therefore the way you've lived. If you believe you'll always struggle financially, you'll dismiss opportunities that could make you wealthy. If you believe you're unworthy of love, you'll settle for relationships that drain you. God begins to change that. He starts showing you glimpses of how He sees you chosen, capable, favored. You begin to understand that His plan for your life includes not just survival, but abundance. Spiritual abundance, emotional abundance, financial abundance. Because wealth in the hands of the faithful is not a curse, it's a tool to build, to bless, to leave a legacy. But with this new identity comes a new responsibility. Your actions must now align with the person you are becoming. This is where the test comes. The test of alignment is subtle. It doesn't always look like a dramatic trial. It can be as small as the choice to tell the truth when lying would be easier. It can be the decision to give generously when fear tells you to hoard. It can be the choice to walk away from an opportunity that pays well but compromises your integrity. Passing these tests proves that you are ready for what comes next. Failing them delays the season you've been hoping for. Abraham faced such a test when God asked him to place Isaac on the altar, the very promise he had waited for. The test was not about losing Isaac. It was about proving that nothing would come before obedience. Your test may be different, but the principle is the same. God will not put a crown on a head that bows to idols. When you pass the test of alignment, something happens that feels almost supernatural, the sudden shift. You've been in a slow season for what feels like forever, and then, without warning, the pace changes. The opportunity appears. The breakthrough comes. The door swings wide open, and people around you will call it luck. But you will know it was the fruit of your preparation. David's life changed in a single day. One battle against Goliath, and he went from unknown shepherd to national hero. But that moment was years in the making. Years of unseen preparation, of learning skills no one thought mattered. Your sudden shift will be the same. The reward for showing up, even when no one is watching. But here's the truth most people overlook. Arriving is not the finish line. It's the starting line. Staying in the new season requires a different kind of discipline. The same God who opened the door expects you to keep it open. That means managing your time, guarding your integrity, handling your finances with wisdom. Wealth is a magnifier. In the hands of the wise, it multiplies good. In the hands of the careless, it multiplies harm. If you've prayed for financial increase, understand that the increase will reveal your habits, not fix them. The prodigal son was welcomed home with joy, but the inheritance he wasted was not replaced. Some opportunities don't return. You were carried here for more than comfort. You were carried here for influence, for impact, for the chance to live at a higher standard. Every delay, every disappointment, every wilderness moment has been part of your preparation. None of it was wasted. You are now standing in the doorway of something new. The question is not whether God has brought you this far. He has. The question is whether you will step forward with the faith, discipline, and vision to stay in the place He is giving you. You didn't just get here. You were carried here. And the new beginning in front of you is not just a reward. It's an assignment.